Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Ready to go? Don't you know? Live show. Live show Alliance 143 coming at you, ready to rock and roll. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. We're ready to talk some Star Wars and hey, Darth Sion, I'm glad you're able to catch the show too. Definitely glad to see you here, and hello to everybody in the chat. Hello to Lord Megatron and Tilo Mad. What's going on? Michael Yench, hey, in San Diego. Asuka. That is Gom that you heard in the chat. Gom does not like to mute his mic during the intro, so you get to hear him sniffling and coughing and adjusting his microphone and just doing all the Gom things that he does. You know what I mean? But Gavon Mothma, what's going on? Ray Rock, what's up? Hope everybody's doing all right. So first and foremost, as I mentioned, we're with good old Maurice. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys.
And also, we are joined by the lovely Avinash. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. So we typically do this at the end, but I'm just going to mention it now. Make sure to check out the Operation Metaverse channel. The links are in the description for that channel. Also, Boba's Alliance in the chat. Make sure to check out the link in the description for that. And Reality Skewed Gamers as well. Ranger cannot be here tonight. It was his birthday this weekend. We did do the Reality Skewed Gamers 4-year anniversary of their live show on Wednesday. I was there for 3 or 4 hours. It was awesome. I know Maurice was on the Jedi Academy show yesterday. I just think Ranger's a little tuckered out from a busy week, so he'll be back next week ready to go. Yeah, he definitely partied way too much, but I mean, I think he was working hard today. He told me he was really busy, doing some work around the house. So, and then yes, I'm sure he partied hard last night as well. So, but happy birthday to Ranger, wherever he is out there. Hopefully, he's enjoying it, and we look forward to having him back whenever he's ready. But
he just turned 21 again, didn't he?
He just turned 21 again. Yes, he just old enough to start drinking that alcohol again. He looks 21.
Right.
He still looks in great shape, so that's good. Good evening, Nightmare. Lord in Black, what's going on, brother? Dane, what's up? These guys came to check out the Power Ranger stream a little bit earlier. So, I wanted to open up the discussions talking a little bit about the most recent update. Obviously, in the chat, you see that there was an update to a new game engine. They're moving to Unity. Unity is actually, interestingly enough, let me move over to the newsletter here. Technology update says today's update improves many of the underlying technologies that we use to create Galaxy of Heroes. These significant tech upgrades enable us to continue to support this amazing game for years to come and bring us Star Wars experience better than ever. It may seem like nothing has changed when you log in, but there are plenty of updates under the hood that allow for numerous improvements in the future. So, with a unified tool set and modernized APIs, these changes give the designers access to more tools and smoother process for development content. So, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically, in short, the engine update allows them to do more interesting things as far as content releases, so there should be better graphics, possibly a graphic update, maybe something in the vein of what they did with Fortnite, where the game received sort of like a mini relaunch. That would be fantastic, because I think the game, it looks a little dated. The game's been around since 2015. It's 5 years now. I mean, it's a great game, but again, graphically, it could use a little bit of an overhaul. So hopefully they do something there. They did add some new content, in the Jedi Knight Luke event with puzzles, etc. So I'm assuming that what they mean is they'll be able to, do more things like that. Kind of more outside of the box things with the content. Unity is the same engine that they use for Hollow Knight, which is one of my favorite games. Hollow Knight is a sort of like a stylized platformer that has some similarities, not graphically, but some similarities in playstyle to Dark Souls and it's also a platformer. So you jump, across. It's got like Legend of Zelda themes to it too, because you have to. There's a lot of collection, and you upgrade your weapons, etc. But Hollow Knight is a visually stunning game. The developers there mentioned that, by switching to the Unity engine, it allowed them to do a lot more things and expand the game tremendously. So I know personally from the Hollow Knight ecosystem that Unity definitely is a great game engine and allows for, huge expansions to games. So this is not just for this game. I've seen this in other games also. Darth Scion, we will answer your question in a few minutes here. Just hold up. I just want to get through this part of the chat here. So what do you guys think about this? I mean, obviously, again, like they said, logging in, there's not a whole ton to see right off the bat, but what are your thoughts about this as a whole?
Well, I think it's great that they're updating the game and using a new engine to be able to do it, with the expansions, the graphics, and everything else that needs to be done, especially if the game is going to survive more than just like the traditional 5 years that a mobile type game or any type of a game lasts. One of the things about this last update was for the last couple nights, I've had a hell of a time logging into all of my accounts. I don't know what it is I came up with, it goes to the daily, your daily claim thing when it resets and stuff, but it just kept getting stuck right there, and you couldn't see anything. I couldn't X out. I couldn't get out of it. I couldn't back out. I couldn't do anything with it. And every single time that I brought one of my games up, I had to delete the application, re-download the application, and then try to get in. And last night was the worst because it took hours for me to figure out how to work around it. I couldn't log into any of my accounts. It scared the crap out of me because I needed to get into TW. I needed to see what was going on, and I had to get my 600 done.
I had a scenario similarly the other day where I was trying to rush to get a couple of things done for my dailies at the end, like right before reset, and like everything was just taking forever because of the update, right? So that happens during updates, but I mean, it used to happen a lot more frequently in the past with old updates where I would log in and it would take for everything that you do, starting a match has to load, going into Galactic War has to load, like every little thing you do seems to have like a little bit of an update to it. What about you, Maurice? What do you think about the Unity update?
We'll have to see. I think it puts the rumors of the game is dying to rest, at least until the next thing comes out. So, I don't think that they would, be so adamant about explaining this and actually going through with it. I don't know about you guys, but every time I log into the game, I'm getting small little updates. About once a day. It gives me a little notification you're not in Wi-Fi. The update, and then I'll go to Wi-Fi and I'll do a little download. So I think they're slowly getting it in here. We'll see. I mean, I don't think we're really going to see anything until that new Galactic Challenges comes. Maybe they amp up some new event or something. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure they're going to be eager to show off what it is, and kind of, because they've been talking about it forever. We've seen nothing. And us being a testy community, I'm sure they want to at least show us what they've been working on. So I don't know. I think it was a good update. I mean, they fixed Kylo. They claim to have fixed Darth Vader the way he looks. He looks a little better. Still not perfect, but...
Oh, I haven't looked at it. Did they center his picture finally?
Let's take a look. They said they fixed his chest plate or something like that.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at Darth Vader and see what that looks like. So Kylo's fixed now? He's not broken anymore?
They fixed some interactions with him. Basically, the whole Fives interaction and him not proccing his ultimate. He procs his ultimate now. I mean, Vader still looks kind of dumb, to be honest with you. It looks like his chest plate overlaps into his robe, which doesn't make any sense. He's kind of a tough character to get 100% correct because of that. They want to show, I guess, the depth of the chest plate, but it's like the way the robes are working. I mean,
he looks good. He looks better than he did.
As
an artist, he's one of the easier ones to do.
Yeah.
He's one of the easier ones to do. It's a lot of the other ones that are more complicated to make it look right. He is one of the easier ones to do.
Yeah.
And yet they screw it up.
I mean, Vader should be looking proper. But I mean, so you're saying they fixed Kylo. What was wrong with, what did they fix with Kylo?
Well, basically, before the update, if Fives was in the picture, Kylo and the whole team would just target Fives. And then if Fives was still alive, Kylo would not proc his ultimate. Now, while he still may target Fives on occasion, it doesn't seem to be automatic, and he will proc his ultimate ability. Because before Fives there, he'd just keep pounding on Fives, pounding on Fives, pounding on Fives. And even though if his ultimate bar is all the way full, he wouldn't trigger it. He wouldn't use the move to trigger it. He'd just try to kill Fives, and now he will. There's still some workarounds on it. I mean, some people are using certain gas comps to beat him still with Fives, but at least now he's proccing his ultimate, because that was the worst. I know that's going to piss a lot of people off. A lot of people built that GK counter and the Padme counter specifically for Kylo that they can no longer use. And unfortunately, it was in the middle of a TW Grand Arena sort of weekend. But, it's just for those that have Kylo that invested all of that energy, crystals, refreshing to get the ultimate for it, not to, who cares who he's targeting? When he doesn't proc the ultimate that you work so hard on, it's kind of infuriating.
Right.
Again, I understand a lot of people can't use their counters anymore, but they weren't really counters anymore. Like, they're not really counters if they're, if they're solely reliant on some workaround, some loop, some bug. They were just kind of, I guess you could call it cheese, right? I guess that's cheese. But, now there's still counters out there, guys. People are getting it down, especially if you guys have Luke. Those of you that got Luke, you have a perfect counter with a JKR Jedi Luke kind of combo. But for those that didn't, there are some gas comps floating around that you guys can still use. I'm sure there'll be videos, tons and tons of videos after this TW. So don't get too discouraged.
Well, yeah, it just takes a while to come up with a decent counter for something like the Galactic Legends. I mean, it's difficult, but people want it like right now, and then they get frustrated because it's not out like 24 hours after you're fighting against Kylo or Rey. And, that's ridiculous. It just takes time to be able to come up with stuff.
Yeah, and I think Vader, that kind of works against Rey. Like, instantly people figured out Rey, Vader versus Rey. But we'll see. Vader can work against Kylo. I've seen it done. It's not as easy. It's not as easy. But it's, there are options. And it's something we'll develop soon. I do think some sort of gas comp is probably going to be your best bet. We'll see. I'm kind of looking forward to what people come up with. I'm fortunate I have Luke, so, I mean, I got my answer. But, there's only 4,000 of us, I think, that got Luke. So the other hundreds of thousands, if not millions of players are looking for something else. And something will come up.
Yeah, I didn't get Luke this time around on any of mine, so I'm not worried about that. It was like I was really, really close, but I was not willing to spend the money to get it. It just wasn't worth it for me.
If he was meta changing, it may be different, but he's not. So I mean, but yeah, no, I get it. And Kylo seems to be the better option now. It seemed like Rey coming out of the gate, had some real steam, and I think that she still does. I mean, still great. They're both great characters, still are, but I think Kylo definitely now is definitely at least in the conversation. You know what I mean? As far as that's concerned, I mean, I think that if you were saying that maybe he was kind of disappointing, you're tempted to stop farming Supreme Leader Kylo for Jedi Knight Luke. Yeah, listen, that's just your Star Wars fan in you wanting to stop for Luke, which I totally get, because, I mean, at the end of the day, I want Luke really bad, too. I mean, he just looks so damn cool, and honestly, that's the character that I've always wanted. I mean, I definitely want Luke a lot more than I wanted another version of Kylo Ren, especially a Jedi Luke. But Supreme Leader Kylo and Rey, you gotta have at least one of them if you don't have them already. If you already have one of them, then I'd say going for Luke is not a bad idea. But I mean, if you don't have one, like me, I don't have one yet. You know, going for Supreme Leader Kylo has to be my priority. You know, and then after that, I'll go back to Jedi Knight Luke. But you know, we'll discuss that here in a little bit, actually. Now, as far as the rest of the update is concerned, did they give us any more info on Galactic Challenges?
Not really. I mean, Chrome was on the Galactic War Report a couple weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago now, right after the announcement of it. So, I mean, not too much. Hopefully we get something this week. I don't know. I think it's going to come a lot sooner than people are expecting. I wouldn't be shocked if they gave us some sort of, and they said they're going to give us some sort of trial, sort of beta run, exhibition, I think is the word they use. So I wouldn't be too shocked if it's within the next month or so. Just to kind of keep the ball rolling, get people spending, get people into the game. They've got a good chance here. They reworked Vader. They bring Luke into the game. But they got a little momentum going after all that nonsense with all the crap that was going on, the negative publicity. They've kind of got the train rolling in the right direction. So they need to really. Need to keep it going.
It seems like a lot of people that were negative on the game a little while ago seem to be changing their tune right now. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And that's a good thing. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really all we want, right? Is the game to do the right thing and kind of progress in a positive direction. Yeah, I mean, you know, your priorities have to be based on what's going to help you win your arena and your TWs for your guild, right? So at the end of the day, I understand you may be close to Jedi Knight Luke, but getting away from getting a Galactic Legend right now is, I just have to say, it's probably not a good idea. If you're close to Rey or Kylo at all, you should put your resources into that. That's just my opinion. I think that, and again, you know what I mean? I'm not the end-all be-all as far as this conversation is concerned, so you could go ahead and do what you want. That's the beauty of this game is, you know, you can kind of go in whatever direction you want. But again, if you're somebody that wants to be super duper competitive in arena and you want to get your crystal, you want to get top 10, top 20 in arena every day, you need a Galactic Legend. You do.
Yep.
Yeah, and then also on top of that, I mean, you're getting to the point now where with GAC, TW, everybody has Galactic Legends. We faced a wall of Galactic Legends because we had faced a higher tier guild that went in short, and there was zero chance of us getting through those walls. I mean, they were just ridiculous. I mean, it was just stacked with Reys and Kylos. There was nothing we could do. So it's just, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So again, you know, you have to look at what's the priority for you. And if you've already got a Galactic Legend, I'd say then at that point you really can make whatever decision you want, because you don't really need to go any other way. You've got one. You can get Luke and then circle back around to get Rey if you decide to later on, or vice versa, circle around and get Kylo if you want later on. But if you don't have either of those, I would say, you know, just like Nightmare's saying here, for heroic Sith rewards, for TWs, for GAC, for arena, you know, for all these different reasons, go for a Galactic Legend, you know. But how do you beat Padme with Vader? Stonewall, hey, what's going on? We will answer that question in the Q&A segment in a little bit, okay? We've got that question marked down. Anybody who's asked a question that hasn't been answered yet, it will be answered a little bit later on. Just hang out. Now, as far as the Galactic Challenge is concerned, is this going to be an event, or are we going to be getting like another table? What do you guys think?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think this is going to be like an event, like that's going to be like in the events tab, or do you think we're getting another holo table on the screen here to go to? Like, are we getting another section of the game dedicated to Galactic Challenges?
I think we're getting, there's a spot that's available for something.
Where is it? Let me
That's
see.
on the far left, I believe.
That table.
You know, that's a good question. Like,
yeah.
The way Crumb kind of worded in that interview
See?
is,
There's a spot right there.
So he said like some will be open for X amount of time, and this will be open for a few hours. Some will be open for a few days. It's slightly reminiscent for you old time players for those flash events we had where you have to take like Farm Boy Luke in against the Jawas. Do you guys remember those?
Yeah.
They'd just
Oh,
be
God.
Open for like they'd be open for like 6 hours randomly, and you had to jump in. I mean, it was. I think I still have fully crafted MK3. Those little purple, the real. I've still got crafted pieces from that. Like you get like tons and tons of the same crap gear from it. It could be kind of reminiscent of that. Like, you know, at 12 o'clock, be ready to play. You know, kind of force your hand into logging in. I can see them kind of going in that direction, which would be unfortunate, but you know, like flash events kind of thing. So I mean, I'm not sure where those ended up. I'm not sure how we even access those. I don't remember, but I don't know.
Yeah, Ray Rock. I think what he's asking is how to beat Vader with Padme, not teams with Vader and Padme, because I don't think Vader and Padme work at all. Would you ever sell your car to get a tune in SWGOH like Ramon did when he was a Team Skunk to get Rex for Aurelian tags? First of all, it wasn't Rex. It was Darth Maul. Okay, let's get the facts straight here. No, I don't think we would sell a car for Darth Maul, but you should consider it. Okay, it was worth every nickel. You know, that Darth Maul. So I was able to get Darth Maul, the 7-star, and use him at a time where he was absolutely useless. And then eventually, when he was free to play and everybody had Darth Maul, he finally got a Zeta that made him relevant.
For a short period of time.
There was a Maul meta at one point. Okay, there was a Maul meta. It existed. It happened. Just like there was a General Grievous meta for a little while. It happened. Yeah, no, that's funny. So yeah, I mean, I'm overall, like I said, I think that, you know, the new update sounds really appealing, you know, from the looks of it. We'll have to wait and see how they utilize it. Hopefully, they do use it to add new content, and then they also maybe go back and start to upgrade some of this stuff. I mean, again, you know, I know they did a little bit of a visual upgrade to Vader, but listen, there's a lot of characters that could use a visual upgrade. Let's go ahead and take a look here at, where is she? Come on. There she is.
I mean, for the most part, every character that was like in the game at the beginning, you know, basically all of the original characters could use a little bit of a boost. I mean,
It'd be nice. I would really like to use more of my rosters rather than the top third.
Sabine Wren looks like, you know, she stole somebody's candy, you know? Sabine Wren definitely doesn't look like she should. And there's a few like that. I mean, you know, let's take a look at Wedge Antilles. I mean, you know, Wedge looks like he looks like a sailor, you know. And then you've got, I mean, Biggs Darklighter. Biggs is all right. I mean, he's all right. But you want to go. I mean, some characters are spot on. Don't get me wrong. Some characters are spot on. But then you go and you see a character, you know, kind of like, for example, let's take a look at somebody like Jyn Erso here, for example. I mean,
well, you know, and it always fascinates me about.
She actually doesn't look that bad right now in this picture.
No, actually, she looks better than the movie.
Yeah.
Well, just look at Poe.
She looks better than the movie. That's so mean.
Like, look at the Poe. Look at regular Poe Dameron, right? Poe Dameron was in the game damn near at the beginning, and then Resistance Hero Poe. Like, look at the difference in the detail. Like, I don't know. It's like Cara Dune looks good. I think Greef Karga looks really, really good. You know, the new Finn and Poe look a little more like Finn and Poe than the old ones. You know, just the more recent characters do look a little bit better.
He kind of looks like Poe looks like he's kind of been drugged through the dirt.
Like
he looks very dirty.
Stormtrooper Han.
So he's
Could
like
probably use an
dirty,
upgrade.
dirty.
Stormtrooper Han could probably use an upgrade. Scavenger Ray as well. Scavenger Ray. She's probably actually the best looking Ray out of all of them, to be honest with you. She definitely looks better than Galactic Legend Ray. Let's pull up that atrocity real quick and just take a look at what that looks like. Toilet Paper Ray! Toilet Paper Ray! There she is.
Yep, she's got that, toilet paper flint flying in the front of her
Does she still have
outfit
that?
there.
Does she still have that piece that like cups around? I wonder if they fixed that. That piece that looks like it,
I seriously doubt that.
When somebody like forgets to they just got that piece of paper like hanging out of their pants when they come out of the bathroom. Like they got that.
Yes,
extra,
Ray Rock. I like my troopers dirty. Yes.
They got that
very
extra,
dirty.
They got that extra piece just hanging out. You wonder how it got there. That's right.
Yeah, TP Ray. Yeah, hold her still so she flings that toilet paper out in front of her.
I was, and I think they did. I think they fixed it because it's not happening. Like I don't see that glitch. I mean, let's let it chill for a second, and we'll see. But I remember there was like a glitch where it looked like almost like she had a penis for a little while.
Well, that would be a pretty damn big one if that was the case.
Yeah, where is that glitch?
Oh yeah, huh?
They fixed it. Like they
apparently they did. That was just bad graphics on that part.
They definitely fixed it. Yeah, that's weird. All right. But I mean, face-wise, again, she definitely looks like she looks like Ray, but like they injected her with like male hormones. You know what I'm saying? Like they just gave her like a mustache.
You know who she reminds me of? Like right from that front angle. She reminds me of from Dune. Oh crap, what's her name? Come on, you guys. I know you know who it is from the movie Dune. The gal. I can't, for some reason, I'm going completely blank on her name.
David Bowie.
What movie?
No.
What movie are you talking about? What movie are you talking about?
In the movie Dune. Well, because of the knot on her head, the way her hair is pulled back a lot from straight on. Sean Young. Yes.
Okay.
That's who it is. That's who she reminds me of in the movie Dune.
Okay. I can see
if you look at her straight on, that's how she looks.
She does kind of look like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, graphically, we could see some updates. I mean, I would see David. She looks like David Bowie. She definitely does look like David Bowie, for sure. She's got the English accent too. But yeah, again, hopefully they continue to make fixes like this, and they understand that graphically, it's important. At the end of the day, I mean, the game is. You are very limited with what you can see from the characters during gameplay, but a lot of this game, you're staring at your roster, and it's about collection, and you're staring at the character, and we're doing what we were doing before with Kylo. We're just doing a little spinning, okay? And when you're doing a spinny, you got to look like this. I mean, Kylo looks exactly like. That's amazing the way they did Kylo. Kylo looks literally exactly like Adam Driver in The Rise of Skywalker in this picture. I mean, like I was like, very good job with Kylo. You know what I'm saying? I think just kind of not so good in other areas. And that should be. I mean, even his hair. I mean, he just looks spot on. The lightsaber looks great. Just very good graphics. They should. All the characters should look like this. And if characters. If all the characters looked like Kylo in this Supreme Leader Kylo, then the game would be better. Now obviously some can't because there's some characters in this game are based on cartoons, right? So they could never look real.
Some of them, a lot of times it's harder to create artwork for somebody who's attractive or semi-attractive, and it's much easier to actually do artwork for somebody who's not attractive.
Are you trying to say that Kylo's ugly?
Oh, I about said the F-bomb. Yeah.
You're trying to say Kyle's ugly and Rey's pretty? That's not right.
I'm not saying Rey's pretty. I'm saying somebody that's more attractive is sometimes harder to capture the in terms of artwork and stuff for that, as opposed to somebody who's not as attractive, because you could pick out all the ugly bits and it's easier to draw.
I think Daisy Ridley's hot. I think she looks good. I think she's just.
I think she's so, but Kylo, it's like, man, he's easy to do because he'd be ugly.
I mean, honestly, like her being like, a little bit more innocent and all that in the movies makes her more attractive. You know what I'm saying? Because she seems naive a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, Kylo grew on me. The first time I saw Adam Driver take his mask off in The Force Awakens, I was like, oh shit, they screwed it up. They screwed up. This guy is not menacing at all. Like, I'm not interested in, I'm not even remotely interested in this guy being the villain for 3 movies. You know what I'm saying? And now he kind of grew on me a little bit. Like Kylo in The Rise of Skywalker is that movie. Like, he is the reason that movie is good. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't feel that way in... I did for the first half of The Force Awakens when he's wearing the mask. Like, before... Like, when he's in the room and he's talking to her and all you didn't see what he looked like. It's great. Once he took the mask off and started talking, you know, as, like, Adam Driver...
I laughed my ass off.
It was like, oh man, I mean, like, you know, I get it, like, they were trying to go for something different. They didn't want to go for menacing like Vader, but, you know, I don't know. There's so many ways you could discuss that. I did see the recut ending of The Rise of Skywalker with all the Force ghosts in it. Dada Jordan sent me a link, I think last live show, and I didn't get a chance to check it out until today. I watched it, and holy shit, is it awesome! Have you seen this? Like with the
no,
it's amazing.
Link in our Discord here, so I can look at it.
It's amazing.
Or I can ask Dada.
You know, I'm gonna send it to you right now. It's literally amazing. Like, it's just like, here, you guys have to see this. And there's actually a newer version of it where, like, if you go to this one, they'll show you like the newer version of it, and you could see like Luke and Obi-Wan and Yoda and Anakin like standing behind Rey, and in the newer updated version it looks even better. Like, they're both like all behind her, like, you know, like using the Force to like stop Palpatine, and this is the way it should have ended. Like if that's the way the movie ended, I would have zero complaints about the entire trilogy. I mean, that's not true. I'd still have complaints, but you know what? I would be totally fine overall with everything if that was the way it ended, because it would literally show that's the way it should have ended. Absolutely. I mean, the fact that it didn't end like that, it's so sad that that's not the real ending. You know, if you watch that. If you guys haven't seen it, go check out Rey vs. Palpatine Force Ghost Edit. Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. It's on YouTube. It is so awesome. You know, literally all the Force Ghosts standing behind Rey when she's fighting Palpatine, and it is great. So, you know, I saw that and I was like, I mean, that's literally all I wanted from that movie. Like, you know, when I was watching it, I was like, why are the Force Ghosts not there with her right now? I mean, they basically teased us that Force Ghosts are going to be able to physically do stuff the whole trilogy. You know, you had Yoda strike lightning on the tree in The Last Jedi. Then you had Luke lift the X-wing out of the water and grab the lightsaber. I mean, they should have been there behind Rey. And this is Anakin's story. Anakin should have been there. That ending is the way it should be. Anyway, I'm done. Because I could talk about this for an hour. Seriously, I could talk about this forever. But all right, so that's that. Let's move on to some meta report and some top 5 so we can get to the Q&A. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in here to the meta. So as you can see, the meta is looking very interesting. Okay, very interesting. 2,900 Reys at rank 1, 2,700 Kylos at rank 1. Basically almost a 50-50 split. This is what we were hoping for. Rock, paper, scissors meta. 2 different leaders at rank 1. Gas, basically useless. Almost as many Darth Revans at rank 1 now as Gas. Almost as many Jedi Knight Revans as Gas. Crazy. Darth Vader. Darth Vader is the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the number 7 ranked leader in Arena right now. Darth Treya at rank 10. Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker at 8. Shock T. 15 Shock T's out there at rank 1 right now. You guys running Shock T at rank 1? Don't know how you're doing it. Good job. Yeah, listen, I go off on tangents. That's what I do. Okay, and this is my show, and I'll cry if I want to.
I was going to say something similar to that. It's like he can do what he wants.
But my party. But yeah, so yeah. I mean, if you guys, like I said, go check out that trailer. That's definitely awesome. But what do you guys think about the meta report? I mean, do you think now that Kylo's been fixed that we're going to see more Kylos going? Do you think Kylo's going to overtake Rey here?
I think it's a possibility. I mean, Kylo's been creeping up quite a bit here.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
It just takes so long to get these characters. Like, if you went for Rey, like, you can't just switch to Kylo. Like, that takes months of work or lots and lots of money. Like, you can't just like, I think I'm going to change it up and just go ahead and get Kylo. Like, you got to really work for it. Like, you know, I do think Kylo is the better option now. I can definitively say that he is probably better than Rey, but, you know, I mean, if you went for Rey first, you got Rey. Like, you know, so, I mean, you got to live with her. I think people
I've just got 3 Zetas on Kylo right now, and I'm working on his ultimate. I've got both. I don't know which one I think is how I feel. Which one is better yet? Because I don't quite have. Man, I can't talk tonight. I don't quite have Kylo completely done. So,
Boris,
I'm anxious to test it.
Boris, yes, it's a fan-made video. There's also a version 2, like an updated version that he made. Check out the updated version. It's even better. Looks even better. Yeah, I think that eventually Kylo's going to take over. I think Kylo now, to me, is better than Rey. And I think that Kylo will be the meta. So, and which is makes me happy because I was actually going for Kylo anyway. I mean, I don't have either of them, but I'm way closer to getting Kylo, and I'll probably get Kylo sooner rather than later. So I'm glad that you know, they gave him some love. Eventually, I'm going to get Rey also. I mean, I think I like Rey. I think Rey's great. Honestly, I'm just not as big of a fan of the character of Rey as I am of Kylo Ren as a whole. So, I mean, I play this game looking for characters that I love. Echo.
It's Dad.
Echo. Dismiss. Sorry about that, guys.
What was that?
I had a video call coming in on my my Alexa device. So, but yeah. So I mean, you know, I go for characters that I like. You know what I mean? And I personally like Supreme Leader Kylo as a character. So I mean, to me, you know, I want to go after that. It's not as important to me that I'm number 1 in Arena or anything like that. To me, I just want to have fun and enjoy the game how I like it. And, you know, so I'm going to go for the characters that I like. But also you have to keep in mind your guild, you know, and what you're going to do to try to help them win TWs and get your, you know, get your, you know, you don't want to fall behind on territory battles either. So, but that is the top 10 leaders at rank 1. Let's move along to the top 10 squad members at rank 1. Gas is still the number 1 squad member at rank 1. Rey number 2. Supreme Leader Kylo number 3. What are your thoughts on that? Why is Gas still the number 1 squad member at rank 1? Because a lot of people are using Rey.
He is such a plug-and-play character.
Yeah.
He really is. He's tough to boot. He's hard to take down. He's got some nice debuffs that are usable. He's great on a Rey team. He's great on a counter team. He's great on the 501st team. He's just kind of good everywhere. And a Jedi team.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at my arena now, and every single Rey team is Rey, Jedi Revan, Gas, GK, Watt. Every single one of them. A couple people are experimenting with Luke and stuff, but ultimately everyone goes back to that comp. So, I mean, you've got at least on my chart as example, everyone that has Rey is using Gas, and then of course there's the shards that just where gas is probably still the dominant arena. You know, like the younger shards and newer shards. Yeah, I still see a couple guys climb with gas in mind that don't have either Galactic Legend. So you know he's still around. He's still a very good character. Very, very good. So I don't know.
Yeah, no,
get him if you don't have him.
Still good. Get him if you don't have him. Yeah. General Hux is number 4, followed by General Kenobi. He'll always be, in the mix here, I think. Jedi Knight Revan at number 6. Interesting. Kylo Ren Unmasked at number 7. Sith Trooper at number 8. Wat Tambor at number 9, and Hermit Yoda at number 10. Interesting mix there. You know, you can't really tell. It's not distinct like faction that's dominating here. You know, you have Gas, who's a Galactic Republic, Rey, who's a Resistance, Kylo, who's First Order, Hux First Order, Kenobi is Galactic Republic, Revan's a Jedi, Kylo Ren is First Order, Sith Trooper, obviously a Sith, Wat Tambor is a Separatist, and then you have Hermit Yoda, who's a Jedi. So you have an interesting mix of characters here in the top 10. So interesting. But all right, let's move on to our top 5. And this week we have top 5 characters overall for summer 2020. Okay, we haven't done a top 5 overall in quite some time, and we were going to do it a couple weeks ago, but I held off. And now we've gotten Jedi Knight Luke since, so that changes things a little bit. So I'm glad we held off a little bit. So let's dive into this here. So at number 5, who's the number 5 overall character in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes right now, Maurice?
Wat Tambor is what we're gonna go with. Wat Tambor is the ultimate plug-and-play character. I mean, we've seen every meta that's come. There's some sort of counter with Wat Tambor. You want to go to Gas, you know, people were using some sort of variation of Bosk or Stormtrooper Han lead with Han, Chewie, Wat, you know, just Wat, and Thrawn are in the mix on all these counters. You know, you see him now being a main component in the Darth Vader-ish counters to Rey. Some people are using him with, you know, prior to the change, Wat was part of the Kylo counter too. It'd be Wat 5. So it's just Wat's just because of the text he has, how he can basically shape a team differently than what you would normally have the team do. Just his texts are great. Just the weapons tech that gives the defense penetration and the turn meter, and you've got the tank tech that just constantly keeps a taunt on a character. It gives them 30% protection back. It can essentially make non-taunting tanks. You know, Mace Windu is a terrible example, but he would be one. You just stick the tank tech on him. He's a taunter constantly. Just very, very good character all around. Lots of healing. Very good for banner recovery and offense in the Grand Arena. You know, he's got tons of dots, so he synergizes with Wampa, he synergizes with Vader. All sorts of and of course, Separatists. You can slap him on the General Grievous team, and the team becomes much, much tankier. Just fantastic. Revives Separatists, so he's just all around just a very good character.
Would you say he's probably the most versatile character in the game? I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Him and Thrawn.
Him and Thrawn are probably the most plug-and-play characters in the game, I think. You know, you could probably use Wat on any team and get away with it pretty much. But he does have a special synergy with the Separatists, obviously, Separatist droids. But he is a great all-around character. And fantastic for a change to get a character that's a chase character for territory battles that ends up being meta. Right, we haven't had that.
Well,
yet.
It ends up being halfway decent.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Rolo no good. Winter Han not so good. You know what I mean? So, Rolo Cholo no good. And then we get Wat finally. Somebody's good, and you know we'll see what Kiadi Mundi brings to the table when that time comes. But that is our number 5 character overall in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Moving along to number 4. We've got Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. Ooh, number 4 overall. Why is he number 4 overall here, Maurice?
Well, I know the masses don't have him. Just take my word for it. He is so good. Just his leadership. His leadership comes with the little special move that basically, if you use it, it gives Luke 100% turn meter, and as soon as Luke goes, his speed is the opposing team has his speed. So you can run a really slow Luke, and you can run like a Shakti and a Hermit Yoda, some sort of super fast Jedi. They go first, call the mass assist, Luke gets to go instantly, AoE stuns the team, and then all of them have 140 speed, like base speed. So it's really, really, really good character. Just everything about him is really good. He's got the blind, he has the I think it's Jedi Will, Iron Will, the little icon that all the Jedi can get that makes them counter, and just so much better. Just another buff for the Jedi squad, like battle meditation. Just so it's very, very good, and he's the only character. Lots of stacking speed, lots of stacking offense. He's really the only character in the game that can really go like pound for pound with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren at the end of a match. If it's Jedi Luke, if Luke's the only one standing at the end of the match, you still have a chance against Kylo, because he brings the pain. Super, super hard hitting character. If you have Luke, you have a counter to Kylo, basically. Like,
right.
59 better counter. It doesn't matter the comp, you can take him down. Jedi Knight Revan, Jedi Knight Luke, they go hand in hand. You can run them faster with that team. You don't have to run him super slow. I mean, he's got a terrible base speed, but you can still throw 100 speed on him, and he's usable. Very, very good all around character. Stacking protection, just a great, great character. Very, very versatile. I mean, you can throw all your junk Jedi with him. I think the first comps I ran, it was like him, Hermit Yoda, and then it was like, Ezra and Kanan and all my leftover Jedi, and it worked fine.
Yeah.
Counters, I mean, use his lead. As long as you go first, it counters just about anything. So it's pretty good. Very good counter for like the bugs, for Traya, just all these obscure teams that are kind of, Night Sisters, very difficult teams that they only have a handful of counters. He definitely counters. So yes, I went on a tangent, but
yeah,
he's very good.
No, he is very good, and I mean, there's nothing wrong going on a tangent. I mean, Luke is an interesting character. He's new to the game, and for those of you that are going to be contemplating going after this guy, you need to know kind of where he is in the meta to decide whether it makes sense to even go after him, right? Because at the end of the day, does it make sense to go for Luke or to go for somebody else? Obviously, as a fanboy of Star Wars, your heart's going to always say go for Luke. I mean, as soon as he dropped, I said I'm stopping everything, going for Luke. I thought better of that because I found out that he's not necessarily number one on this list right now. Otherwise, it'd be a no-brainer. But and that's the thing. You have to decide what makes sense for you. Overall, Luke's great character. Brings the pain, like Maurice said. But if you don't have a Galactic Legend, somebody probably should put on the back burner until it's time to go. Old school Wu-Tang reference. I'm not dating myself, am I? Based on instrumental, found out my mental. Oh, based on instrumental, found out my mental. Yeah, that is an old school Wu-Tang reference. All right, so let's go with the number 3 overall character in the game. And a lot of people, Nightmare is upset here that you put Jedi Knight Luke over Gas. But let's, that you put Gas over Jedi Knight Luke is what he thinks. Who do we have at number 3?
Malik.
Oh.
No Gas for you.
Oh.
Malik's number 3.
Oh.
Malik is number 3. For no other reason that if you guys are trying to counter either Galactic Legend, and then all of a sudden you put Malik on the team and your counter no longer works. He's extremely disruptive with his fear. He's got the move that can basically, it doesn't matter how much health you have, if you don't have any protection, you're done. He's got a Dispel, Shock, he's Taunt, just massive health pool, huge stats, stacking stats, the crit avoidance, the tenacity, the offense. He stacks tons of stuff. Just very, very good character. And as we've all seen, those in competitive TW guilds and that really take Grand Arena seriously, you can pretty much put Malik anywhere and it breaks the traditional counter. Like, Malik messes everything up all the time. Just a very, very good character.
I think you shattered Nightmare's dreams over there with this top 5.
Yeah, well, it's close. It's close. Top 5 overall is very, very difficult to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Gas isn't even top 5. No, we'll see. He could be number 1. We'll see.
He's not.
He could be number one in the game. Gas, number one. Darth Malik is number 3. So, I mean, yeah, again, this is about overall and sometimes overall usefulness, isn't just the number one meta character in Arena, right? So, just because Malik isn't necessarily the number one leader in the arena, which is what you think of usually when you're thinking of the top best character in the game. He is essential as like a tank, and definitely the best tank. And we'll just got to be careful there. Best tank in the game, right? Yes, best tank in the game, in my opinion. Is Ray a tank?
Galactic Legend Ray, no.
Okay. All right, so no. Darth Malik, best tank in the game. But, I mean, that's the thing. Just a great overall character, and, he's just somebody that, you could kind of throw into the mix these days, and he'll help you get the job done. So, moving along to our number 2 overall character in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, we have Galactic Legend Ray. Yes. Toilet paper Ray. TP Ray coming at you.
TP Ray.
Had we done this list a couple weeks ago, it would have been a coin flip. It would have been 1A and 1B. I've seen some of you guys in the chat tonight say, I can no longer climb my Ray versus Kylo, such and such. Yeah, Ray is definitely taking a slight backseat to Kylo, in my opinion. I'm sure others have different opinions, but it's a Galactic Legend. I mean, everyone's fought her every day, all day. Her whirlwind just kills a character every time with it. Lifeblood gives incredible sustain to any character that you want. She brings damage immunity with her. If your character gets below a certain threshold, they instantly become invincible and basically get a second chance. Like, basically any light side character in a Ray team gets 2 lives. If you can't one-shot the character all the way. It's very, very good character. Her ultimate is incredible, basically makes the whole team invincible, then she just comes out of it and just lays waste to your entire team. Very, very good character. Very versatile in how you can mod her. You can go the heavy health route and give your team incredible sustain. You can go the heavy offense route. You could go the tenacious route, which is a newer one, kind of help block some of these Vader counters. Tenacity is also an option for her, or you can just run her just flat out speed. Like, it's depending on your mod set, you can make Ray work. So it's just very, very good, and the resistance heroes are pretty good. Lots of tanks go with her. I mean, Malik again, really disrupting a lot of the Vader counters. Malik can be a nuisance on the team. Just for those of you in the competitive TW guilds, I'm sure you're encountering the Ray, Finn, resistance hero Finn, and 3 tank comps that are a real nightmare to deal with.
Oh yeah.
Those are tough, very, very tough. Like L3, Jedi training Ray and Malik. You're like, oh god, it can be a real pain. Defensively, I think Kylo is better right now just because people don't have the answer for him. But I think Ray is more flexible. Like, it's easier to build a team that might be like, if you go through your Grand Arena history and you see that your opponent's using something very specific to counter Ray, you can easily switch the comp up to make their counter less effective. Whereas Kylo, it's kind of, you can throw Malik on the team, or you might be able to throw Darth Revan on the team. That's about, maybe 2 tanks instead of 1. But I think Ray's defensively is a little more versatile. And of course, she goes with all the light side characters. We talked about Luke, Nightmares, talked about Gas, you got Jedi Knight Revan, you got Kenobi. Lots of good light side characters that get the mastery stats from her leadership. You guys will have one eventually. Ray or Kylo if you don't. Yes.
Don't get him wrong. I mean, he's definitely saying that she's still great. Even though she's number 2, she's still fantastic.
Yes.
It seems like he said a couple of weeks ago, this probably would have been a toss-up, maybe even leaning a little bit more towards Ray. Now, seems a little bit more towards Kylo. And I think that that's going to be reflected in the meta report over the next couple of weeks. I think we'll see more Kylos at rank 1 eventually here over the coming weeks. But who do we have at number 1? I mean, we already pretty much, I think, know this one, but who is it, Maurice?
It's Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
Yep.
Yep, just the destroyer of worlds, can solo any team not named Rey, or he's just a one man show. General Grievous Separatist teams are still one of the very best defensive teams in the game, and Kylo can solo it by himself for 63 banners. It's pretty ridiculous.
Nice.
I don't know. He's pretty awesome. Stacking stats, a stun, the buff immunity on his basic, AOE that hits real hard and drains stats. Just a great ultimate ability that you can kind of manipulate. If you want to really expedite the ultimate ability, you can bring in all the AOE characters. You got Phasma, you've got Sith Trooper, you've got First Order, Special Forces, TIE Pilot. You got all these AOE options. You got Hux and First Order Officer that can just funnel turns to him and get him built real quick. Just a real cool character to use. Can solo the Sith raid, so it's that alone is worth the price of admission, I guess. So just very good, and he is the more difficult right now just because people don't have the options they did last week. And we did this list a couple weeks ago. We started this, and the list actually looks way different now since post update. So there's some changes. So like Ramon said, we didn't have Luke when we initially tried to do this. And then the changes to Kylo last week kind of mixed the list up a little bit. It knocked Nightmare's Boy out of the top 5. So
yeah, and Helenix here says that he's putting the connection together that TP Ray is number 2, as in number 2 with the toilet paper kind of situation.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So yes, Maurice. When he does these lists, he does it like on a really deep psychological level, and he is thinking, toilet paper Ray equals shit. That's what he's thinking. You know what I mean? So that's what he's thinking.
No, I mean, it's a very, very close. I mean, you can, and just because I am a little biased towards First Order, right? So, I mean, but you can make a case they're still equals. Like,
just so you know, Maurice is wearing Kylo Ren underwear right now. Just so you guys know. Yes, and he has. He's actually wearing his Kylo Ren mask during the show. He's decided to do that for the last couple of weeks. That's why he hasn't been on with his camera, because he just wants to wear the mask.
Yeah, it's like our private peep show.
Yeah.
But the top 5, though, very, very, very interesting. Again, we haven't done a top 5 overall in a while. It definitely has shaken up over the course of the last 12 months, for sure. Now, as always, we do have an honorable mention. And Nightmare, I think you're going to like this one. Honorable mention is Gas. Okay? Now, the question here is, why is Wat Tambor ahead of Gas? I guess that would be the question to ask, but at the end of the day, I would say, again, Wat Tambor probably a little bit more of a utility character, although Gas is still the number 1 squad member in Arena. So I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. There are lots of other game modes besides Arena, though. You're talking about TW and TB, etc. So Watt has other places to shine.
Oh yeah, if this was purely an Arena top 5 list, then yes, Watt would not make the top 5. Gas definitely. But Gas, I mean, we all know him. We all love him. He is one of the very best leaders in the game for 501st. Just the whole him being able to reduce max health if there's no protection is one of the best mechanics in the game. He's a very, very good character. You can mod him a multitude of ways. You can mod him really, really tanky. You can mod him really, really offense, oriented. Just can do a whole lot with him. And like I said earlier, he's the main component. We saw it on the meta report. Still number 1 because he's so good with Rey. Just an excellent character. His leadership is kind of married to the 501st. But, he's a Jedi. And there's tons of Jedi leaderships. Bastila, you got Jedi Revan. All sorts of leaderships for him to thrive under. So very, very good. AoE, he's got Armor Shred, AoE Daze. He does back-to-back moves, attacks twice. You can't crit him when he's all by himself if you started with him as leader, so he just wrecks your whole team at the end of the fight. If you do get in a circumstance you can hit Rey, you can hit Kylo with him, you can reduce their max health. and really start digging into them. So it's still very good. It's a very close top 5. Like there's, we could arguably put Thrawn in this spot, GK in this spot. It's tough to do a top 6 list essentially of the best characters in the game. Yeah, he's just a little dated, and like I said, Luke basically replaced him in the 4th spot since this original list we did. So yes.
Yep. But Gas does still make the list. And, again, as far as that's concerned, I mean, these characters are must-haves. So, I mean, you just have to kind of put your priorities in place and decide which route you want to go first. But I would say that, you must have Watt for many areas of the game. You must have Jedi Knight Luke at some point down the road. You must have one of the Galactic Legends. You definitely must have Darth Malak. He's a must. And then I'd say Gas is also a must. So these are the characters that you should be going for if you don't have them. Prioritizing which order, that's going to come down to your particular roster and what makes the most sense from where you're at right now. But great overall characters, and that rounds out our top 5 overall for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes 2020. If you do like that kind of thing, or even if you don't, just hit the like button because it makes me feel better inside. And also, as far as that's concerned, it helps the channel. And at the end of the day, if you could subscribe or hit that bell notification icon to get notified when we go live, that would also be sweet. But we're going to go ahead and move back into some gameplay here. And while we do that, we will scoop up any additional questions that were asked in the chat. And if you guys have any questions or any topics you'd like to discuss, now is that time. We are going to be doing our Q&A segment here. So before we wrap it up, we'll answer any questions and we'll talk about any topics that you have, till the end of the stream. So you lick the like button. That makes me feel good inside. Yes. Hopefully you didn't have any residue on your screen.
Oh, yeah. Did you just say lick the button?
I think he licked it.
Oh, okay. I would just want to check and see what you said there.
Yeah, no, hopefully there's no corona on your screen. Otherwise,
licked the like button.
Bad
yes.
Choice. But all right, so we had some questions asked a little bit earlier. Did you get any of the questions, Maurice?
Yeah, I've got them here.
Okay, cool.
The first question came from Darcion Ramon. Number 1, how's your mods coming along? Number 2, why don't you stream your Grand Arena Championships? That would be entertainment right there.
Well, the one time I did stream Grand Arena Championships, it was a lot of fun, and I did win. So, I mean, we should do that again. And I will. I just, honestly, it's one of those things where Grand Arena happens at, like, weird times, and it's like, I'm also not always just available to jump on and do a Star Wars stream, especially since Grand Arena also takes a little time. It's not like you can just jump on and do it. You gotta invest some time into it. But I have been working on my mods. I have been also working on getting Galactic Legend Kylo. So this is where I'm at right now, as far as getting Galactic Legend Kylo is concerned. So I need to still get. I still need to get First Order Special Forces and Veteran Smuggler a lot higher. But I've gotten Sith Trooper, First Order Stormtrooper, Hux, Palpatine done. I have the 2 Kylos done. So really, I just need to kind of wrap up these other pieces here. I need to get Veteran Smuggler Han to Relic, which is going to hurt my soul when I have to do that. And then, the rest of the First Order characters. So First Order Officer, First Order Executioner, First Order Top Hat. Decided to go for Sith Trooper first before First Order Executioner. My next one's going to be First Order Executioner, though. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. And mod-wise, I still have a lot of ground to cover. You can't just stop working on mods for 2 years and then suddenly get it fixed in 30 days. But hopefully over time I'll get there.
Yeah, it will. Next one, another one from Darcion1972. Since Kylo rework, I'm now losing 7-10 with my Rey against him. Why won't CG give Rey rework as I spit to get her? Is CG making us all farm Kylo now? The optics look really bad.
No.
Well, you could run that team. I mean, it must work. I mean, I have Ray, but I don't run an arena. I don't have the ultimate, but everyone's running the gas, JKR, GK, Watt. If you don't have Watt, there's a couple guys on my shard that run Hermit Yoda in the 5th spot. And they're climb with it, take first place every day. I know it sucks because you farmed all these resistance characters to use with her, and you just can't really do it in arena right now. But that's an option. I don't know. You think she'll get a rework?
Who'll get a rework?
Ray.
Ray?
Yeah.
But you talking about now that Kylo did? No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
I think they're still going to look at it, though. Who knows what they might do in the future, but for right now, I don't think so.
It depends on how things go over the course of the next... I mean, if like... Oh! It depends on how things go over the course of the next couple of weeks. Like, if they see that Ray significantly takes a dip in usage in the game, then possibly. I mean, but in all likelihood, no.
I think it will take. She could get a rework, but it will take some sort of somebody figuring out some cheesy team to beat her with. Like
that's going to be it. Yeah.
Both of the Kylo bumps, if you will. I mean, the reworks, if you want to call them that, have been a result of some sort of flawed game mechanic. Yes, it's their fault. It was in the first place, but every time he gets a little boost, it's because somebody found out a way to basically manipulate the game and manipulate the AI and so on and so forth. So I mean, I think it will take some sort of Ray cheese, like like tomorrow if somebody's just like, oh look, you can beat Ray with POW, like they'll fix it. Like so, if you guys see something shady and you do want Ray to get a little love, do report it. So
yeah, be sure and do a video of it because and tell the whole world so that everybody can tell CG that it's a bug.
Saw something in here. JVU 420, I believe he said just give her the Jedi tag. She needs an upgrade. Well, if you guys do that, you will never be able to, like, Ray vs. Ray mirrors in arena will be far worse than Ray vs. Kylo because of one character named Jolie. You will never be able to beat a Ray team with Ray if Jolie's on both sides of the field. It will never happen. So, so be careful what you wish for in that regard.
Just people think of JKR versus JKR. How soon we forget how bad that was and how long those battles were.
Yeah. Because basically what would happen is you would run Ray with Jedi Knight Revan and Jolie. And Jolie would get damage immunity, and then also there'd be a saber. So you'd have to kill a Jedi once, and then you'd have to give them through damage immunity. You have to kill them once, so pop back up with full health protection. You have to kill them again. So you would time out almost every single time. So that would be awful. And like I said, I have Ray as well, and I don't want to see that. But whatever they decide, I'm fine with, I guess. There was one here I just saw. I think you kind of touched this. Would you ever sell your car to get a tune and Swunga like Ramon did when he was in Team Skunk to get Rex or Merodium? No. Not selling the car for character.
I mean, Maurice already sold his car to get Galactic Legend Kylo. So I mean,
yeah,
that's that. But I mean, no, I don't think that would be a thing. I do think, however, that there are definitely some people out there that make some poor decisions life-wise, as far as like when it comes to deciding what to do. I remember there was a guy. I'm not going to mention his name, but I remember there was a guy that eventually that was borrowing money from his family to play this game, and he ended up taking out like a bunch of loans, and I think he was in debt like $20,000-$30,000 or something like that, and then had to quit the game. And you remember what I'm talking about, right, Maurice?
Oh yeah.
So for those of you out there that are in a similar situation, if anybody's out there is spending money that they shouldn't spend, you should rethink it, because it's not worth it. At the end of the day, if you happen to have the disposable income because you make a lot of money, and again, nobody can tell you how to spend it, then that makes sense. But if you're in a situation where you've got bills to pay, you've got a family, and you've got to put food on the table, I would say getting digital content should not be on the priorities, and this game can be just as fun, and you can get just as much enjoyment out of it not spending money. So it's just a matter of, I decided a long time ago that I wasn't going to spend as much as I used to. I still spend, but definitely nowhere near the amount that I used to. I used to spend, thousands. Now I spend, less than 100 a month for sure. So.
Well, yeah, and if you guys, I mean, I don't want to get too serious with it. If you guys do, like, it's a legitimate problem. I'm not sure the technical term for it, but basically, Gamers Anonymous, there are resources. If you guys feel like you have a problem, there are resources available. I have a lot of those resources on hand. We've advertised it on the stream before. If you guys think you have a problem, you can reach out. I'll be more than happy to share the resources with you anonymously. No one will ever know. So if you guys ever feel like you're, having a problem, don't hesitate. There are things that can help.
Sometimes,
in that regard.
Sometimes you just need to talk to somebody and ask them and have a real, listen, I have a friend of mine, right, that has been giving me advice my whole adult life. Since he hired me at a job a long time ago, he was my boss originally, and now he's kind of like he's still a friend of mine, but he's kind of like a mentor too. He gives me advice in life. So if I have any troubling times personally at work or anything, I'll go to him and ask him his opinion, and I get a grounded, real opinion, that's not jaded or anything. It's just genuinely he's trying to help me make the right decision, and sometimes you just need somebody who can objectively take a look at the situation and is not in the same scenario as you are. They can take a look at it and say, hey, listen, bud, that's probably not the right thing to do. And I'm not saying that anybody here in this chat is doing that. I'm just saying that sometimes having somebody to reach out to, like Maurice said, is the number one thing. You don't really have anybody to talk to. You can always reach out to me, Maurice, or anybody on the show, Avi, if you want to talk about that. And we're always available in Discord. There's a link in my Discord there, and you can also just DM me, or even just write a comment, or if you want to do something in private, again, you can DM me on Discord anytime, and I'd be more than glad to chat with you for a bit and give you my opinions about any decisions you want to make, whether you like them or not. I'm not ashamed to share what I think. So I'm sure most of you know that.
All right, now we'll try to lighten the mood with another question.
Sure.
How disappointed? Well, this is okay. Never mind. How disappointed would it be if CG didn't give us stun guns as rewards for the Galactic challenges? From Darsion.
Oh my God. The rewards for Galactic challenges is probably the one fear I have of this whole thing, because again, I mean, I don't remember a game mode that they've released in recent memory that had good rewards. I mean, everything sucks. It does.
Right.
Everything sucks. I mean, and they haven't given out shards. The last time they gave out, like I said, and I keep talking about this, I know forever. You guys who watch my show all the time, you're going to be like, Ramon talking about tournaments again. But they were awesome. I mean, we used to get shards for characters. You get if you got top 100, you got a 4-star character guaranteed, and you were getting a gearbox, you were getting credits, you were getting mats, you got omegas. I mean, it was just a ridiculously awesome reward. Ridiculously awesome. They don't do anything like that anymore. And that was like, it was like 2 or 3 days worth of battling. About as much effort as you're putting in now into, again, not necessarily. If you were getting top 10 or top 5, you have to put a lot of effort into those tournaments. But I'm saying, like, to get top 100, you could put probably, as much effort as you're putting into, a TB, and you got better rewards. You got a 4-star character, what I'm saying, for nothing. It's awesome. I mean, they should rethink, possibly now, I know that there's a thing, but I mean, there's a lot of characters that are not in this game. Let's be real. Okay, they could release, and they don't have to be meta. They could just be additions. They could release Praetorian Guards, Snoke, DJ, what's his name's character from The Last Jedi, Benicio del Toro's character. You could release, any character from, the expanded universe. You could release characters, secondary characters. You could release, you know, there's so many characters they could put in this game that we haven't gotten yet from Star Wars that you could get from Galactic Challenges or from the GW store, or you could get release Scout Trooper or something like that, and that would make it more interesting to me, even if it's not necessarily the, you know, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. If it was just some other character, at least I felt like I was progressing towards something interesting, something new to try out with a different team. Jabba the Hutt, yeah, something like that. Star Killer. So many ways they could go with it, and this game has basically carte blanche to release any of that stuff. So Mara Jade they could do, yeah, for sure. There's so many things they could go. They could do Abeloth. There's so many ancient Jedi they could go with. They even had certain characters like the in the Revan event. You fight the spirit of the first ever Sith. His name was no, not Naga Sadow, although Naga Sadow would be another one. It was oh man, do you remember who I'm talking about? And that's gonna bother me until I take a look at it. Jesus, we're gonna go there. We're going to the journey guide. We're going to the journey guide, and we're going to Jedi Knight Revan, right? And it was the second to last part of the event. On a Sith World of Korriban.
Well, in the middle of that rant you just gave there, you mentioned the word loot box, right? I think that's going to be the real, like, could you get stun guns? Perhaps, but I think with the way it's going to be, at least the way I'm envisioning it, is each of these, like, they're going to have multiple tiers, and you're going to, like, score, you're going to score points, right? And however high you score will determine, it'd be much like the raid or like territory battles, you just get like a random loot box, you know. And I think the higher tiers will have some new type of reward, whether it be 6B, 6C, 6D type of mod salvage. Maybe it's some other gear piece, like a whole new store you get currency for, I don't know. But I think, you know, the initial maybe tier 1, 2, let's say there's 3 tiers. The first couple tiers might just give you some loot boxes, and the third one will give you something new that we don't have yet, because they have to incentivize, you know, monetize it somehow. And no better way to monetize it than with something that you can't get anywhere else. So you can get stun guns. I don't think it's going to be guaranteed stun guns. I think you'll have a chance at stun guns. So we'll see. I do hope they scale it properly. Like, you know, if you're doing tier 1, get yourself some stun guns, some stun cuffs, maybe some hollow projectors, things that you can actually use to get your characters up to gear, you know, 12, and then maybe tier 2 will get you some of the left side pieces and right side pieces, get you to gear 13, and then maybe the third tier will give you the relics and the mod stuff. We'll see. They got a real chance to do this right, so hopefully they will.
Jedi Fallen Order guy, yeah. They could also release Iden Versio from Battlefront 2. I mean, Jesus Christ, why is that character not in the game, right? Here, Ajunta Paul. Ajunta Paul is the character I was thinking of. This is Ajunta Paul, the spirit of Ajunta Paul. They could literally release Ajunta Paul himself in the game. Yeah, Ajunta Paul. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, I forgot his name, but Slave Leia. Yeah, I mean, Slave Leia would be great as a chase character for Galactic Challenges if they decided to add shards there. I mean, I think that they should understand at this point that all we care about as collectors in this game is freaking shards, okay? Give me shards, okay? Give me shards! That's what I want, okay? I want shards for characters, and I want, you know, and if they're not going to give you shards, if they're going to give me gear and stuff, don't give me, you know, stun cuffs. Okay, I want, you know, like some of the higher end stuff. Make it easier for us to relic characters. You know, that's what we need, is gear 12 plus pieces and gear 12 finishers. Give us more of that stuff. Yeah. Slave Leia would be great. No legs, no arms, Anakin. Just stump the Anakin. You know, stump the Anakin. Just like rolling around the floor. Like just, torso, Anakin's torso. Yeah. Babu Freak would be, yeah.
Nightmare asked, who's Malik we're looking at? Are health mods on Malik better than Tenacity? Depends. If you're not looking to like prevent Treya or Padme from beating your Darth Revan team, Tenacity's better. Tenacity's better if you're throwing Malik on your Rey team to try to block a Vader counter. Tenacity's good in certain situations. Speed's good in others. Offense is even decent in some situations. Depends on how you use it. I think I've actually converted mine to Tenacity as well since I took that picture. There was another one right afterwards. Okay, just Nightmare has another question. Just 7-starred and Relic my Hux last night. He is 299 speed with 138,000 health and protection. Is that enough, or do I need to mod him faster with different primaries?
299 speed is pretty good.
Yeah, how do you guys do your Hux?
My Hux.
Oh man, I don't even remember.
I will take a look at my Hux right now for you.
I'm looking at probably my best Hux.
So I've got 4.mod. I've got 4.mod on Hux, so you guys are gonna laugh at me, But listen, it does have 16 speed. Okay, it literally does. Okay, so all you guys out there that don't believe it, you're looking at it. Okay, 16 speed, Hux. Okay, 4.mod.
Just make him as fast as you can. At 299 speed is very good. I mean, just make him as fast as you possibly can. Health and protection looks good. That's a good number. But
I have speed and protection, or speed and tenacity. I have them at 302.
I have speed and crit chance, and I have them at 268. So you're faster than me, for sure.
Let's look at. Yeah,
I have 130% tenacity.
So I'm with you, Avinash, because he has such a high base tenacity. I think it's a good idea to utilize that because. Because the best counter for Kylo right now includes Jedi, right? It includes characters like Old Ben and Bas Lashawn, and those characters have ability block. And if he has high tenacity, you can't block his ability, and then you're forced. Who do you mark with Jedi Revan? Do you mark Hux or do you mark Sith Trooper? And if you miss that ability block on Hux, it almost forces them to mark your Hux, and then that leaves Sith Trooper wide open to waste you. Yeah, I've got 167% tenacity on him, but that's only 64 added, so he's got 104%, 103 even base tenacity, which is, I would that's got to be the second highest in the game behind Rey. So, maybe capitalize that a little bit if you can. I think 138 is good in terms of survivability. I don't think unless you're running Finalizer, I don't think you really need to take it past 5. That's my opinion.
Unless you're running him in. Dark Side Geo, and nothing helps with that, with tenacity or potency or anything like that. So it doesn't matter how high you are.
Yeah, 299 is a solid starting point. Like if you can bump them up as you go along, great. If you can't, I think 299 will get the job done for sure. Let's see, there was
the dab is awesome. It actually says elbow cough for that emoji. Just so you know, it says elbow cough, but that is a dab as far as I'm concerned. That's a yes, for you guys. It's a dab.
RF1978. What's the best lineup for Theo Kylo? Hux. Hux, you can now safely use Sith Trooper again that you can't cheese him. I like Hux, Sith Trooper into 2 tanks. Or Hux, Sith Trooper, First Order, Stormtrooper, and Phasma. Those are my favorite lineups. What about you guys?
I gotta have Sith Trooper in there, definitely. I've kind of got him done really, really well. Hux, Sith Trooper, First Order Stormtrooper, and I've been trying to play around with Phasma, actually.
Phasma's cool. He's making it really fast.
Is this for Galactic Legend Kylo teams?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even think about that, so...
Yeah, my Kylo, I'm still working on the ultimate, and I need 3 more Zetas on him. But, I've just been kind of playing around just to see.
Yeah, if you can get Phasma to 260, 270, because then you got Kylo goes first, Hux feeds him a turn. Phasma's 270 with that 30 speed boost, putting her around 300, then she does the 50% turn meter boost. And this gives everybody that much, and you're just cycling around again. You can sometimes, if you're not fighting Rey or another Kylo, you can almost get like 2 full rounds of attacks from your entire team in before the other team goes. So
Yeah, I have her speed and potency, and she's about 275.
Yeah. So yeah, she's pretty good in that team. She's very squishy. Her base stats are atrocious, but just that turn meter. And she has an AOE to expedite the ultimate up. So I mean, she's don't sleep on her. I know she's been a garbage character. No one's really thought about her for years, but she's pretty good right now.
Captain
She's got a lot of uses. Yeah.
Yeah, Phasma's actually probably better than she's ever been right now, for sure.
Oh,
This
yeah.
This is a question specifically for Avinash from Nightmare. What's one Zeta you have put on a tune that you regret and wish you could get back?
Oh my gosh. Let me think. Jin. Not the leader, but the one where Jin is done.
You put the Zeta on her not getting stunned. Oh my god!
Yeah, because at the time I was like one of the first people that had a decent Phoenix team, and it was like she kept getting stunned all the time in territory battles. So I put it on her, and I can't tell you how much I regret that.
Let me tell you that I got the Zetas to put on her from CG to showcase the character, and I still didn't do it. Even though I got the Zetas for free, I still didn't do it. Because I was such a useless Zeta. I was like, no way am I doing that. But listen, I have a Bodhi Rook Zeta, so...
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to admit it in public, yes. I'm sorry.
But
yeah, that's the only one that I really regret is that Jin one. Oh my god, that was...
Yeah, it's pretty bad with Avinash.
Yeah.
I've got some dumb ones with that. That was pretty bad.
Honestly, if you did it when they were, because there was a period of time, right, where we didn't have all the Rogue One characters yet. Like, right, we had Chirrut, we had Baze, you know, we were getting Cassian. Some of us had Android, so we were able to get K2SO, but not everybody had a 7-star Jin yet, so we didn't really know how. We didn't really know how to. We didn't really know how good that team was going to be. We were thinking maybe. We were thinking maybe that Jin and that team maybe that whole Rogue One team would actually be good. So there was a small period of time where I thought that we were going to have like a meta 5 characters, right? You're going to be able to run, you know, Jin and Baze and Chirrut and Cassian and K2SO, and that team was going to be great, but it just was never good at all. The Rogue One team always sucked.
It dive bombed.
Yeah.
You know, because it was such a good movie. And then they bring out the characters and we're so excited and everything. And you know, Jin was a bit squishy at the time. And, you know, you had like your G9. Maybe you were lucky to have G10 at that time. And you just needed whatever for her to survive. And I put that stupid Zeta on her.
Well, I can tell you first, I've got her at gear 13. She doesn't get any less squishy at gear 13. She's still pretty squishy.
Baze and Chirrut were great for a long time as a combination with the Rebels, for sure. Okay, but Cassian, Jin, and K2SO were never good at all. Never good. And I had Zetas on all of them. I have Zeta on Cassian, I have Zeta on K2SO.
I was always I never used Cassian in the beginning. Never used him. I don't know why. But I'll tell you what, Cassian is really good in circumstance. He's actually pretty good. He's probably the best one on the team.
He's got buff block on his basic, doesn't he? That's
heck yeah. Yeah. He's got those debuffs, and he can do some serious damage.
Let's see. Question for me: who do I miss more, the Finches or Mobile Boomer? That's a tough one. I don't know. I grew quite fond of my little birds on the porch, but they're all gone. 4 for 4. They all flew. There were no dead birds around or in the nest. DSP, this is a question I don't really have an answer for. Does Rey have any team in the Sith raid? Is Rey usable in the Sith raid? You guys have any good ideas for her?
Not a clue. Not a clue at all.
Yeah, I've got Kylo, so there's really been no
Yeah,
need for
everybody's
me to
using
experiment.
Kylo.
Sorry, DSP. I'm sure somebody will have something. I'll try to look that up for you.
If anybody in the chat knows or has used Rey in the Sith raid and knows how she does, please do share your experience.
Ramon, how many 3-dot mods do you have in your inventory from Ray Rock?
Let's take a look. I mean, it's it's not gonna be good. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Whatever it is, I probably have a few. I'm looking at like relic amplifiers here. Stupid.
Better. Okay, while you look at that, we got one more here from Nightmare. Better 5th for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and Sith Raid, Hoda or Traya? I like Hoda. I used Traya initially, but I don't even use her anymore. I just use Hux, First Order Officer, Supreme Leader, Hoda, and Thrawn is what I use now. If you can kind of babysit at P1, you can usually at least auto it for halfway through P3, so that's usually what I do. Just take the lazy way. But yeah.
I don't have any 3-dots.
There you go.
At least I don't think so.
Wow. No, because they would be at the top. They would be at the top.
Oh, you can check right here. Okay, so let's go with MK3, right? And go, let's go check it out now.
Yeah, it Hawthorne.
I have
Hawthorne
one 3-dot on my Resistance Trooper. I do.
And Hawthorne makes a good point here. I run Ray on P1. The regular Resistance team is better. That's probably the case, because now if you have Ray, that means you have an R7 Jedi training Ray. You got the rest of the Resistance team really decked out now, so that means he's probably right. You can probably come down there close to solo P1 just with the Ray, old school Finn, 3PO, R2, and BB-8. Probably almost solo the whole thing now, but haven't done it in a while. I think that's most of the questions. If I missed some, guys, I apologize.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting a little late here anyway, so.
Yeah, I think we got most of them.
I think we got most of the questions. If we missed any questions, please do type them into the comments section of the video after, and we will, we'll circle back around and we'll answer those questions on the next show. So we're going to go delete this 3-dot mod here just to make them happy. It's got 6 speed on it and 3.8% offense. That's a great mod for 3-dots, okay? But we're going to go ahead and remove it. And then we're going to go to sell, and then, wait, I got to confirm that first, right, 1900. Okay, then we're going to go sell it. We're going to sell it. So we'll take the credits for it. There we go. But, all right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. Those of you on the East Coast, happy Monday. Those of you on the West Coast, it's going to be Monday in a couple hours, but enjoy the rest of your Sunday. If we don't hear from you, if there's no new content, we'll be back next Sunday. What's going on with Operation Metaverse this week, Maurice?
Thursday nights, we stream at 10:30.
Okay. Gino, first time you caught us. That's great. Excellent. Glad you were able to make it tonight. We'll be back next Sunday at 10:30. Anything going on with Boba's Alliance and the podcast?
Not at this time. I've been pretty sick the last several days, so
okay.
I'm hoping to get things back going as soon as I can get better and be able to stay awake long enough.
Gino, 7:28 a.m. Okay, you're around the world, my friend. All right. I'm glad I see you. Thanks for showing up, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you made it. Also, make sure to check out the Reality Skewed Gamers live show on Wednesday night. And there are links in the description to Operation Metaverse, Reality Skewed Gamers, and Boba's Alliance in the chat. Also, make sure to go check out on Twitch, Master Kylo's channel. There's a link in the description to Master Kylo's show on Twitch. Go check that out. He's been streaming Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and he's been doing really well. He's been doing his GAC. So go give him some support as well. But I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their weekend. Thank you so much for your support and coming here and making this chat, really live and exciting. I'm glad that we were able to be really interactive today. This was a great show. I had a lot of fun, and we'll be back next Sunday at 10:30 with some more show. I possibly may stream again during the week. I don't have my son this week, so I should have time to do another Star Wars stream at some point. So if I have something I can stream for you, maybe my GAC or something. I'm not sure if there is any more GAC this week, but if there is, we'll do that. But otherwise, may the Force be with you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much. Take care, guys. Have a good night.